So Jim, here we are, we're in Las Vegas, we've been here every one of these Conor McGregor fights here, 4 fighters only, the oldest MMA magazine in existence. Look, how impressive was it today to see cavalcades of people? There are people lining the streets all over here just to see Conor McGregor's convoy leaving the weigh-in at the Park Theatre.
You were just saying that this happens for no other fighter, maybe some boxing heavyweights, maybe some other personalities in the sport, but very, very few. Today they turned up. We were worried earlier in the week that maybe the fanfare wouldn't come along with the fight this weekend, but they've certainly come. They packed out the arena for the ceremonial weigh-ins. It really feels like it's fight time now in Vegas.
As he walked out, 5,000 people, not all chanting ole ole, but you saw all the cameras swing around to film it. Yes, you're right. 3 heavyweights, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. That's Conor McGregor just leaving now with John Kavanagh. People are running over to see this motorcade of big black SUVs leaving the Park Theatre. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua and Saul Canelo Alvarez. Apart from those, and maybe Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather when they come back, there is no one else that draws attention. Yes, his star has waned, Conor McGregor, since 2016, but this is the comeback fight, the redemption fight, the redemptive moment, and there's massive interest in it.
Absolutely, like that. The people are flocking behind us now because his SUV has just gone past. Yes, the last year and a half hasn't been great for Conor McGregor in a number of different ways, but it really does feel this week he's back. He's focused, and the sport is going to be much better off for having a focused Conor McGregor.
Well, it's been fascinating because the charm offensive he's put out is unlike anything else we've ever seen from him. John Kavanagh told me this week that Conor's been zen-like in the last 2 weeks of the camp, and it reminds me of those fights where he had people like Ido Portal in the camp, and we were fascinated with his movement. Movement, for me, is the key in this contest. The key is winning, but movement against Donald Cerrone, who's a heavy puncher, good on the ground, good striker, but quite static in his footwork. Yep. Stuck in the mud, Conor's called him before. That's going to be the key to this contest. It's a must-win fight for Conor McGregor, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I think when you actually look back at some of Donald's last few fights, I think Darren Till pretty much put the blueprint out for him. Forwards pressure, put him against the fence and try and land that big left hand. And I think if he can do that tomorrow, it's got to be very much to do with amazing footwork, great timing. The question is, he'll know that, but can he do it after 15 months out of the cage?
It's a big question. He looks physically very good. He's not at all weight trained, of course, at 170. Donald's a nailed down Hall of Famer in the future. 51st fight here, of course. More finishes than any other, no victories than any other UFC fighter. 16 finishes there in his 23 victories. The key for me is that Conor looks impressive and balanced and wins within the first 2 rounds. The longer the fight goes, we don't want him to stretch out a close points victory 3 rounds to 2. He's got to be decisive, get the job done if he wants the fight in the Oakland Raiders Stadium in front of 60,000 people, which they could think of christening with him against Masvidal or against Nurmagomedov next year, in my view. There are so many big events out there for him, even a Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight in boxing, here or in that big Oakland Raiders Stadium, or the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium.
So much of his 2016 build-up was everything he did went better and better and better, and the wins, that 13-second knockout of Jose Aldo was just so incredible, and the performance against Eddie Alvarez, it was a crescendo. Everything just kept rising, rising and rising. You're absolutely correct. Tomorrow night he needs to win. He needs to win decisively, impressive fashion, and then a lot of what's happened in the last 2 years will be forgotten, and it's going to be so good if that can happen for a lot of other people in the sport as well, not just Conor McGregor.
Yeah, it's a redemptive moment, back after 15 months, as you say. This sport swings like social media. If he produces, he'll be popular again. As you rightly pointed out, there's an extraordinary turnout for him. He is definitely a star. He was the right man in the right place at the right time, saying the right things, talking the talk and walking the walk from 2012 to 2016. Let's see if he can get back to it in that arena tomorrow night. It's going to be a thriller, I hope, and a great card to match.
Absolutely. It is not to miss. It's absolutely not to miss. And there's a lot on the line tomorrow, and that's going to be an absolutely incredible and fascinating main event, so make sure you watch it.
Yes, live on BT Sport, of course, on pay-per-view, and also here in America on ESPN on pay-per-view. I'm Gareth Davies, managing editor or associate editor of Fighters Only, and this is Jim Edwards, one of the main writers, our main writer on Fighters Only. Don't miss it. We're looking forward to a great event.